Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and you're all welcome to the day two of our digital for African Digital Conference 2026. If you can get me, kindly indicate in the chat. Just type in yes, yes, if you can get me in the chat. Kindly indicate in the chat if you can get me, please. Perfect. So today we are going to continue from where we left off. And today we are going to focus on two major topics. Okay, we are going to focus on two major topics. We're going to talk about literacy and future skills. Then we will talk about fintech and inclusive digital finance. Then, of course, we are going to have a third speaker who is going to talk about marketing and growth hacking with AI. So we'll begin with the first keynote speaker. By name, Madame Yetunde Makole. So Madame Yetunde is a development enthusiast, a seasoned trainer, and a digital transformation advocate with over 10 years of experience driving innovation, entrepreneurship, and skills development across Africa. Yetunde is a result-driven professional committed to equipping individuals, businesses, and communities with the knowledge and tools needed to thrive in an increasingly digital world. Her work focuses on advancing economic growth through technology adoption, capacity building, and scalable digital resolutions. She is the founder and CEO of MVC Communication Limited, where she delivers digital transformation services and management system development to organizations across multiple sectors. She is also the founder of the My Dream Connect platform, a social impact initiative dedicated to empowering youth and educators with life management and technology skills for personal, professional, and community development. As a thought leader in digital entrepreneurship, edtech, and artificial intelligence, Yetunde has designed and delivered impactful learning and development programs, trained professionals, and advised businesses on leveraging emerging technologies for competitive advantage. Her passion for education and inclusion is further reflected through the My Dream Connect Tech Bootcamp, where she provides mentorship, hands-on training, and practical exposure in high-demand fields such as data analytics, programming, and web development, product design, digital media marketing, and AI-driven automation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Madame Yetunde, who will be talking to us about digital literacy and future skills. Madam, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Samano. Thank you for inviting me. I hope everyone can hear me. I'd like to project my slides because, yeah, I'm currently in transit.
Right, just give me a minute to do that. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to show you my face. I hope you can see it, but I noticed that my internet connectivity is not so strong. So I'm going to be asking you to permit me to put my video off so that we can have a good time together. I hope I have your support to get to do that.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm asking so that you can see me. So, but this is my face. So this is Yetunde Macaulay, and thank you very much for having me. The Sadisa Group, I'm grateful. The Africa Digital Conference, well done. Thank you, Mr. Tamano. God bless you for this great work that you are doing. I am highly honored to be doing this with every one of us this evening. My name is Yetunde Macaulay, and I am from Nigeria, but currently I'm in Ghana, and I have to this evening because I count it a great privilege to be doing this with us. So this evening, I have been invited to um, give us a keynote conversation on digital literacy and future skills, and also because the totality of today's program includes inclusive digital finance. I'll be touching a little into the main slide. I'd like to encourage us and let us know that no matter what we do, no matter how much there is development around, our development in Africa cannot, and I repeat, cannot be determined by technology alone. Because no matter how much we have access to technology, if human beings are not doing what they should do, use it the right way, have the proper attitude towards making things happen, is definitely going to be difficult to build what we really, really desire. So I believe that the participants here today are people who have come to learn and absorb a lot. We all are still work in progress. Nobody is there yet, but of course, we're still growing. Until we stop learning, we will stop growing. So I learn also every day. I learn new things, and every time I am invited to, be on programs like this, I have the opportunity also to learn from you. And even while preparing my presentation, I have also taken time to learn other things so that I can deliver appropriately. So for every one of us, if we are going to do very, very well and make excellent or beautiful impact in our community, in the nation that we have been placed in Africa, we definitely need to put in our best as humans to make things happen. So why is this conversation very, very important? Number one, we all know that there are rapid changes going on. There are transformations. We hear things like AI is gonna take my job, and some people are already nursing the fear of, oh, AI will soon take my job. And of course, in in the process to take, to secure what they think they have, they tend to do what they shouldn't do. Or yeah, maybe because ignorance. Our ignorance cannot really, really help us grow the Africa that we desire. So if you think AI will take your job, I think you need to rethink, or rather think clearly and know, okay, what exactly is going to take your job. AI are just tools. And of course, for every tool to work properly and function, for the purpose for which it has been created, someone needs to operate it, regardless of, the different ways of operation. But we need to understand that the tools need to be operated. Nobody gives a car key to a novice or a new, in fact, let me say someone who doesn't even know how to drive, not to talk of you just started learning how to drive. I'm not going to give you my car key because what will you do with it? You're going to crash it. And so that's going to be the fear of employers, whether they're employing you as a freelancer or they're employing you to be in their business full time to oversee what, they have been building for years. So everybody wants to go with someone who has, show over time that they have the skills, they have the capability. So it's very important for us to know that. So these skills that we have, what do? They create opportunities for you. So if you would, come to the understanding, or you sit down and think clearly and know that, yes, these are opportunities for me to develop, you will find out that learning new skills to be better will be to your own advantage, because it would open you to various opportunities that maybe others are not preparing for. And we have to be intentional. If you're not doing it intentionally, then things will pass you by without you knowing. Opportunities will pass you by without you knowing. You think, oh, you have to pay so hugely to get some things done. And even if you have to pay so hugely, if you're not aware, it's possible that you make payment to people who will dupe you. I was having a conversation with a friend today, and to my surprise, he didn't have that conversation with me. I am a web developer and also graphic designer and social media marketer. I do all of this. And in our conversation, I discovered that multiple times he had paid different people to build sites for him at very huge cost, and they come back giving him what he's not happy with. And all it will take him is to have conversations with the right people who can help him, who can guide him and show him, how to get it done. But because he's ignorant of the fact, in fact, ignorant of the fact that I am around him, you can imagine. So what he's looking for is not so far-fetched. But of course, because he has not taken the time, right? And we're going together in this conversation to find out maybe network. So, we always think it's just about the technology. No, it's beyond the technology. And that's when we have to start looking at the lives that help us to connect to these opportunities that we're looking for far away, when all we need to do is just sit sometimes, maybe sit where you are and have conversations like this. Now, like this conference that we are having, nobody got out of the house except for maybe you've gone to work or you are at your office sitting down right now waiting to, be part of this. Some of us are in transit. You didn't have to travel from one country or one city to another to have this conference. Do you get it? So, and this information are coming to you. So we need to know that Africa's digital future must be human centered, and the humans will be me and you. We must do what we need to do to have what nobody is going to do it for us, but we have to prepare ourselves to achieve the goal that we want to achieve. So where do we start from? The foundation is digital literacy. What does it mean? You must understand what it means. Being digital, being a tech girl is not by having a phone, having a tab, having a Mac system, and you do nothing with it. I've seen people who will tell me, oh yeah, I use a Mac, they use high-powered systems, but they are doing just a little with it. Even in the research that they do, they are limited. I listened to the speakers who spoke yesterday. I remember that sorry, the first lady from Nigeria actually mentioned about you finding the right information. It's not when, yesterday there was a conversation around when ChatGPT gets you information after you have sent in your prompt. You need to question it. But if you're ignorant, if you're not pushing yourself to, go the extra mile, whatever they give to you, you just accept. Coming with the tool, despite you have the tools, you are still limited. So what we are preaching right now is that we need to do much more than we're doing currently. Yes, the tools are good. Yes, technology is good, but how are you using it to your advantage in such a way that you become a problem solver? Therefore, we need to know that true digital literacy means that you understand technology deeply. And how can you understand it deeply? Nobody is saying you must be able to write code, but sometimes you need to understand how it works. And then when anybody is working with you, you're able to understand what they're doing. You can ask the right question so that the goal for which you have engaged will achieve positively. You need to also be able to apply whatever skills you have to solve problems. Yeah, maybe you cannot sit down to write code, but you can form a team of people who can write code and be able to guide them to do what needs to be done to achieve the result that you really desire. It's very important. And with data, remember when Miss or Mrs. I don't know, Nongi, that's the lady from I think Cameroon, that's Derek. She was talking about digital media and she mentioned a lot about data, data, data. Of course, what data is, you even understand it is important. When you have those, then you can make informed decisions on what you want to do because you are trying to develop. There are ways you can get informed, you can get data, and then you can then now use that data to make a decision. Tells you, okay, this is the business that is good for me. Very, very important. And by the time you start doing all of these things and you're doing it cleverly, you're doing it intelligently, like someone who has invested so much into learning, then you'll be able to create value. That's when you become problem solvers. But if you have not used it and all you do is hold the phone and you do not know so much, and all you do with it is watch movies and do other things that are not very that don't give high return on that investment, then you might want to think again. Start thinking, this phone that I am holding, how can I use it to solve the problem in my community? Now that helps you to now start learning of how many other ways that you can use the phone beyond what you have been doing. And then by the time you're able to do that, then you can impact others, thereby helping others also to do what you have done. That way you're solving a problem. You are, erasing some level of ignorance that is in your community. And before you know it, everybody starts to know what to do and the results become bigger. So it's very important that we know all of this. Now let's talk about the skill gap reality. Like I said earlier on, access does not mean you're ready until you take action. Yes, I can have a phone. Many of us have phones, and I can bet it with you. Not many of us have tried to explore, right? How much with that phone that we hold, that phone that we love, that phone that we always carry like egg that we show off to people. Many don't even know what the phone can do for them. They just take pictures and that's all. They just do few things with the resource because it's a big resource that can help you make even much more money if you understand how to use it cleverly. So it's important for us that we get ready. Yes, we have access, but are we ready? Are we just pressing it on the road? We're walking, pressing phone, just using it to make calls only? No, we need to. And I would like to talk about our exposure to opportunity. Now, for some of us, the phone we have does not qualify us to be tech compliant, and that's the truth. There is something I always tell people that come around when they see that you are into tech and you can write code. I'll tell people that number one, the fact that people who are coders or programmers, whichever one you want to call them, or you hear words like, I'm a front end developer, I'm a back end developer, I'm a full stack developer. Yes, they are because they have invested time in learning. Is that the path that you need to go? You have to find out. Now, the fact that, oh yeah, someone shows off that as, oh yeah, I am a back-end developer, I am this, and then you are thinking, oh, everybody's a back-end developer and I have to be. No, there are differences. There's quite a number of pixels and programs. You need to understand it. Pixels and programs. So the program design what you use, right? So for example, let me break it down. For example, let's say we have someone in the room here who use Corel Draw to design stuff. That's another level, right? The Corel Draw application or software that you are using is actually built by someone who is a programmer, right? But you both are doing what you're using you're using, well, the tools, they're both IT tools, they're both tech tools. So some of us would design the tools, others will use it and use it appropriately for marketing, for instance, for making your work look nice, for instance, for promotion and all of that. So you need to know where you belong. Do I really need to go and learn how to program to be identified as tech compliant? Maybe no. If that's not yours, then you go look for the other things. You can be a nice photographer who picks up a phone and snap a picture very nicely, and then you're able to use it to create content. These are things we need to be looking at as young people and as Africans if we are going to be able to expand or improve the transformation that we look. Yeah, we're transforming, but of course we can do bigger and better things. So we need to know all of this. If you learn that small thing instead of you going to the office to compete with someone else who's got a skill that you think, oh, is a dot, that skill that you have, that tiny skill that you have, it could be, I know how to take photographs. You can be a short actor. If you look at, okay, I take photographs so well, and maybe you have an event in your office, you take the photograph so beautifully. That means and then you're able to present it to the world in such a way that it promotes what your organization is doing. Very soon, your CEO will start looking for you to make you maybe, if not one of the team leads, within your social media marketing team, if you have one, and if you don't even have one, you know, you never can tell. That skill that you have developed and that you have improved on can help open up a new unit in your organization where you can then find a way to promote. Yes, you can be promoted. In fact, a cleaner in your organization can take your job if you do not pay attention. You see now, it's not AI taking your job. It is someone who knows how to use this tool and use it to their own advantage that will take your job. So it is important for us to understand this skill gap and take advantage of it and be better. So access to technology does not automatically translate into opportunity, but how you use it, how you prepare yourself to use it is what, give you that leverage that will, make the change that you want in your life. Let's move to the next slide. And what are these future ready skills? Some of us are so arrogant that we find it difficult to learn from others. I don't know why I have to say that. I've seen that before. Some people feel, oh yeah, they are the God of all knowledge, and if they find it difficult to learn from others. Some are shy, and they don't want to feel like, oh, this subordinate is younger. I don't want to go and ask questions. Please ask questions. Now, even if you cannot ask a subordinate, when you go to a subordinate, there are tools that can help you to go and even find out information so that when you are talking to subordinates and indirectly asking for help, you are having a conversation. It doesn't look like, oh, you're asking them to teach you. Maybe that way you'll save yourself that shame of, oh no, I can ask this person because I am at a higher level than. So you need to know this thing and have conversation. So when you have this knowledge, literacy, yeah, what tech is all about, you still need other characters, personal development skills. Yeah, these are now personal because we know that everything is being automated and you can have a younger person that is better than you, and then they just bring that younger person into your organization because the person is got some technical skills that grow faster. And because you've been there before that person, you now thought, oh, where's she coming from? Where is it coming from? I'm older and then you're not able to adapt and quickly learn so that you can retain your job and bring that person as a partner to work with you. So I have here some skills that are very important for us to learn. We have the critical thinking skills. Of course, critical thinking will help you to analyze information and make informed decisions. So even the data that they are giving you, can you analyze it? Can you think critically about what results can we generate with this data? Okay, that's data aside. Humans, the ones that have been assigned to you or that have been exposed to work with you, how do you even work with them? How you work with them also matters. That they can be steps to help you climb, right? That career ladder. They can be steps to help you climb that career ladder that you want to climb. But if you are not smart enough to understand that, you can learn from even the youngest of people to you, then you will be struggling and we will not be doing Africa any good. Adaptability, problem solving skills, digital communication. And I have to also emphasize on that. Digital communication, like I said, how do you collaborate effectively in virtual environments? How do you use the digital communication tools, the different ones that we have, to your own advantage in such a way that you make yourself distressed? You can imagine us having this conference here virtually. Some organizations, some individuals still believe that we must always, so mark the word always. Now that means they are not complying with the fact that the world is changing so fast, and you always having to convert people physically might be a difficult thing, or it might slow down your progress. So you need to consider all of that as you're thinking of being literate in the digital world. You must also know how to communicate, how to use the tools for communication, and how to even interpret all the data that you get. We're talking yesterday about example, a business owner who is struggling. And of course, if a business owner has been collecting data from customers that come in, and the business owner is humble enough to say we also want to have our feedback form. Every information on the feedback form, they are data giving you information about how people are relating or interacting with your business. Those information that they give you through that simple form could help transform your business if you use it appropriately. But if you do not use the data appropriately, then you will be having some challenges going, because every business thrives on what their customers do with them. If the customer leaves, that means you are losing a customer that can bring you multiple or many other customers. So you have to think in that regard. And as you honor what they tell you, what they give you, and then use it appropriately, then you know what to improve on in your business, what you need to improve on in your career, what you need to improve on in whatever it is that you do. So you need to understand that deep data literacy. Go back and understand, how do I interpret it, how do I use it, how do I get it, in fact. Yes, so you must be able to critically think on how the best way to get it and how to use it. And I have here on the next slide the ultimate player. So these are the ones that will take your job, the ultimate player. So how do you become an ultimate player? Number one, you would see on my slide that I said you must identify skills gap. So where am I lacking? You must know it. Now, you know what are the needs in the community. And then the ones that interest you, and you know you have interest, what's it called, skills, or at least an idea, or you feel you can cope in. Don't go competing with people thinking, oh yeah, because they are programmers, I want to go and compete. You will struggle. Try not to compete, but find out what's going on, and then know where you fit in, and then go into that. And you know, from there, you start to grow. There are several demands in the market. You just need to know where you fit in and where you can play and be successful in. The moment you know that, know what training you need to take. So where you are lacking, the next thing is, okay, I don't know how to use even the Word document so nicely that my boss would so adore it. I don't know how to use Excel to do my calculations. When you know all of this, you go for the training. You find places, opportunities that can give you access to learn these skills that you do not know. So you engage so that you can engage with practical and on, whether it is virtually or physically. And the moment you have this knowledge, please and please, I'm going to say that again because I've seen people, they boast about the courses that they've taken, but they've forgotten. Oh, I've done this before. No, no, that's not what we need. You learn it, don't waste your instructors or facilitators or the institution's effort to train you. When you have been trained, the next to do is to apply the knowledge and continue to apply it. When you continue to apply it, you continue to iterate and continue to grow. And before you know it, every of these seeds that you're sowing will end up solving problems in Africa. And then Africa can develop even beyond where we are right now. Of course, we know that Africa is not behind anymore on technology. We have gone so fast and we are going so fast. So it's important that your skills must be put to use. You must translate it to something, whether you want to translate it into entrepreneurship. Why are you learning data analysis? Just to tell people that, oh, yeah, I know about it. No, you know about it. What are you doing with it? Very important. Do you want to start your own enterprise? Do you want to go get a job and help the business grow? And then in the report, you are known for something positive and impactful, and therefore it translates to community development. One of the things we do at My Dream Connect, yeah, I would say that again, is I remember when I started, I learned web development at Pan African University then, and I remember that while I was having my interview with the panelists, and they were there, all the judges were there. Everybody had told them what they wanted to do with the skills. Some wanted to work in the bank, they all wanted to work in a big corporation. And I said, I want to learn to be able to teach a lot of people, to be able to, fend for themselves, be economically rather empowered and be educated. And that's what I do this with My Dream Connect right now. I do that. I focus on working on United Nations SDG goals 4 and 8, and they both cover educational development and economic empowerment. I said it, I meant it, I learned the skill, and I am doing it, I'm living it. We run the tech boot camp every year, twice a year, and I have not given up. Whatever happens, we will go back to the table, review it, and come back again and make it better. So that's it. That's what it should be for every one of us. Instead of us waiting for, oh, government must do this, government must do that. How do we do things, right? That government can even pay us for in a very huge way to become that big boy. That to be, that go-to person that the community needs. Very, very important. We should be thinking about that. And if we build ourselves to that point, many of the gaps that we see in the digital space today will be easily bridged because we have local solutions to our local problems instead of counting on international solutions to our problems, and then it makes us wait forever. So we're young people, we can do great things, we can do marvelous things, but all of this access that we have, are we really ready to make good use of it to ensure that it translates to something profitable for our personal lives and even the lives of the people around us? Of course, then translating to a community, profiting. So very, very important. Yeah. So who are the players in the bridging of this gap? Of course, we know that we will always say government leadership, very important. Private sectors, we expect them to create several innovations that will help us. But of course, without the civil society and the educational institutions involvement, active involvement, whatever is being done by government. So for example, let's say government has even set up learning hubs, business hubs. If we as individuals, young people, are not learning, are not aspiring to be, all of these opportunities will be wasted. So it is something that every one of us, it must be all hands on deck. So before you judge government, what they have even created, how have you used it? How have you looked at it and say, oh my God, I can actually add this tiny little value to it and make it bigger in such a way that everyone in my community can even. So, for example, I'll give an example of how I've done that. I remember some years ago, an alumnus of a school had said he wanted to create an e-library just to give it to the school. I was contracted to do that. And what did I do? The moment I got that contract, I wrote to him and I asked nicely, now that we are doing this, what is the plan? I have a plan. I quickly tendered my plan. And my plan is to teach the students tech skills, mostly coding and all of that. And he approved of it. After that, I continued to do it. And after a while, I became, I was paying for some things. And at some point, I could see that I was struggling a little bit. And what did I do? I went back to him because it has been communicated. He could have just done the lab and the lab is just there and nobody is using it and it's locked up. I saw it as an opportunity. If I hadn't done that to say, oh, I want to train a lot of young people, right, in that school where the lab has been, formed or founded, it will just be there. It will just be another project locked up, and then we all go and we'll say we're not developing. And yet we have young people around that could develop. Some of you have small skills and you have one laptop. You can gather young people within your community on Saturdays. Every time you teach, you become better. And that's the truth because sometimes you have to go and study ahead to be able to teach all of these people. I think with all of this that I have said, we need to understand that the real question before us is not whether Africa will be digital because we are already there, it's already happening. But what we need to ask is, whatever we have, are we as Africans, are we prepared? Are we including ourselves in the development? Are we poking our nose in, yes, this developmental opportunities? And are we empowering ourselves to thrive in the digital future? It's not enough to just use it, but as you're using it, look into it and see how you can improve it and make it better for yourself, for the people around you, and for the community that we play in. When we do this and we continue to support other people, then the transformation that we want. Because developments are not happening because humans are not transforming. Maybe knowledge-wise, we're not learning enough, we're not growing. But when we do all of this, you have these skills, you find access, and your access meet opportunity, then digital transformation can then become what we call human transformation. And human transformation will definitely continue to improve, right? Our digital transformation in Africa. And that is when you will fear less about AI taking your job, but how to use the tool to your own advantage and to benefit the community that you serve. I think I want to put it stop here. Thank you very much for the invitation and for the opportunity to have this conversation with everyone on this platform today. Thank you, Mr. Salmon. I think I will stop here.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Yetunde. Thank you so much for squeezing out time from your busy schedule to be able to give us an insight on this very interesting topic. I hope you'll be here up to the end. If not, then there's no problem. So we are moving to the next speaker. Just So we are moving to the next speaker, who is no other person than I don't know, Mr. Ikings. Is Mr. Ikings here? To check. Mr. Ikings? Please, if you are, just indicate. Seems. All right, so Mr. Iking is not here. We'll move on to Mr. Philemon.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please.
I'm in, but give me about 10 to 15 minutes and let me park where I'm driving so that I can present. Or if there is another speaker, you can let the speaker start and then after that I will present.
Is Mr. Ikings here? Mr. Ikings? Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm parking. So give me 5 minutes.
All
35
right,
minutes
so
to
while we
get
wait for
set up.
Mr. Ikings to come in, I'm just going to, introduce the other speakers who will be coming up, even as far as the keynote, the panel discussion is concerned. So I'm going to begin with Mr. Gideon. So Mr. Gideon is a passionate public speaker, a writer, consultant, and host committed to inspiring growth, leadership, and positive change in individuals and communities across Africa. I hope my screen can be seen. So Gideon holds a BA in religious studies from Adekunle Ajase University and has built a strong track record in leadership, mentorship, and personal development. As a visionary behind the Think Positive movement, he has reached and empowered more than 1,000 young people through public speaking, teaching, mentoring, and counseling, instilling values that foster personal excellence, societal impact, and responsible leadership. His work centers on personal development, personal branding, growth, servant leadership, and intercultural harmony, especially within multicultural and multi-religious communities. Gideon's ability to inspire transform Gideon's ability to inspire transformation through communication has earned him recognition as a state award-winning youth leader celebrated for his commitment to youth empowerment and community development. Known for his vibrant storytelling, depth of insight, and passion for human potential, Gideon continues to champion personal growth and leadership as foundational skills for a rapidly evolving world. His enthusiasm for continuous learning and his drive to create meaningful change remains central to his mission of helping others unlock their purpose and become the best version of themselves. So, Mr. Gideon, you're highly welcome. So we move on to the next speaker on the panel by name Gumsiru Albertine. So Gumsiru Chi is a dynamic digital marketer, social media strategist, and web developer from Cameroon. She's a rising force in digital education and youth empowerment, using technology as a tool to unlock opportunities for students, businesses, and communities. Gumsiru serves as the operation director of Fela ICT Institute, where she plays a key role in equipping students with the digital skills needed to succeed in today's fast-changing world. Through her leadership, she helps young people gain confidence in technology, build practical competencies, and prepare for meaningful careers in the digital economy. She is also the social media manager for Empower Her Plus 237, an NGO dedicated to empowering young women with essential career and life skills. Her work amplifies the voices of young women, strengthens community engagement, and supports initiatives that drive gender inclusion in tech. As a Google certified digital marketing expert, Gumsiru works as a freelance strategist, helping businesses build strong online visibility, develop engaging digital content, and grow sustainability through effective digital marketing practices. Her versatility also extends to education. She is a passionate French tutor known for her patient engagement and student-focused teaching styles. Once again, you're welcome, Madam Gumsiru. Now, I'm sure Mr. Philemon is available, and Mr. Philemon was part of the panel discussion in the session of yesterday. So we actually introduced him yesterday, so I'm not really going to go deep into his introduction for the second time. But Mr. Philemon is a senior assistant registrar at Sungani Technical University with over 15 years of professional experience across university administration, finance, policy support, and teaching. He holds a BA and MSc in economics. He's a chartered energy economist and is currently pursuing a PhD focused on the environmental and policy impact of economic activity in Ghana. So, Mr. Philemon, you're welcome. I don't know if you're ready to take the stage.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Right, so I will just share your slides and you can proceed.
Hello.
Yeah, you can go ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here this evening and also to share the little knowledge I have with the participants. And so this evening, I want to talk about marketing and growth hacking using AI. Marketing and growth hacking using AI. So I'm going to use a simple explanation with real life examples to demonstrate this. So if you can see the screen, if it's mounted, you see that there's a clock. And when we see clock actually tells a lot. Talk about timing and speed. So time wait for no man. So time is very crucial when it comes to marketing and also speed. So what is marketing? So when we say marketing actually means telling the right people about your product. Telling the right people about your product. So, for example, if you have a lemonade stand, or let's say you have a topping stand, and you see children nearby, the right thing to do is well to approach the children and say to them, instead of maybe going to a far distant place and looking for people or other children to buy. That will mean that you have to get transportation, or might even have to walk, and that all will cost you, because that will going to be, you have what we call implicit and explicit cost. So selling to the people who are nearby will help you to reduce the cost and also be able to have sale, make a sale. So marketing means telling the right people about your product. So you tell something about your product to the children who are nearby and who are likely to purchase from you. And that is what we call smart marketing. That is what we call smart word marketing. And then when we talk about growth hacking, what we are trying to say is, well, marketing or growing through smart, fast, low cost ways of low cost. Growing through smart, fast, and low cost. So when we combine the two topics, marketing and growth through hacking through with AI, what we mean is that we are now going to apply technology to grow and to market better and faster, with accuracy and with speed, better than the traditional methods that we used to know. So one is, another example is that, for instance, if you'll be able to market to one person and one person buys a product, what are the other means can you use to grow? The right thing is, so you can motivate the first person who is using your product by way of saying, okay, if you bring me one additional person, I'm going to give you one for free. Buy one, get one free. So as you bring one person, the other person, you give the person a discount or something to motivate the person, either a commission or anything. And when you do that, you see you are growing. Now you are going to get another customer adding to it. So you double your customers. And that is a smart way of marketing or growing. So growth hacking focus on speed and creativity. So when you talk about growth hacking, it's one, speed, and also creativity. You have to be very creative. And the goal is fast growth without spending a lot of money. The goal is fast growth without spending a lot of money. So what is AI? What is AI? In simple terms, AI is a very smart computer helper. AI is a very smart computer helper. AI is able to give us speed, faster speed, more than humans. It's able to give us more our content to be, and then information more accurate, our prediction to be more accurate than human or the traditional method we know. So AI learns from data. AI learns from data. Traditionally, it was impossible. It was difficult, even if it's not impossible, to be able to use data to analyze and to be able to predict accurately like what can do. So AI studies patterns and information to understand what works. AI has the ability to use data, study patterns, and to use that information and then apply what works or to help you know what works. So AI can also guess what will happen next based on past data. So as AI use data, AI can study this data and will be able to predict what will happen in future. Another thing that AI will help us to achieve better than the traditional method is, well, AI is able to complete repetitive and boring tasks. So here we can use AI to automate these tasks and make our work easier or to speed up our work and to release other time or other critical things that we have to concentrate on. So you can think of AI as a helper that look at huge amounts of information and help us make better decisions. You can think of AI as a helper that looks at huge amounts of information and help us to make better decisions. So before AI, marketers guess a lot. So before AI, marketers were only guessing. We use data to make smart choices. Now we have AI who is able to use this data we have and to be able to make better predictions instead of always using the traditional method of guessing when we didn't have AI. So example one, finding the right customer. So when it comes to using AI, how can AI help us to be able to find the right customers? One problem is, for instance, if who should see your aid? So if you have ad or you have ad and who should see it? Who should see it? AI is able to identify people who should see your ad with a very accurate and better than we humans. For instance, if you go into social media or Facebook, you realize that sometimes you see some adverts, you click on it once, but later you realize that they will be chasing you. Anytime you go to Facebook, they will be chasing you a lot of that similar advert. What it means is that when you click, you link click once, Facebook are using algorithm, AI algorithm, to be able to tell that this person likes this product. And so they will be showing you that similar product many times, anytime you go to Facebook or other social media platforms. So that is why AI is able to identify people who actually want your product, which would have been impossible by the traditional method. So that's why the problem that AI will solve. So who should see your product? And the AI provide the solution. AI will study behavior of how people react on social media, and then AI will be able to determine those people who will need your product. So what means that AI find people most likely to buy. The AI will find people who are most likely to buy your product and show it to them. Another example is on Netflix. Netflix can suggest shows you like. Netflix, they use algorithm, they use a lot of AI, and this can they will show you people or people that like their product, and also ads show up for people who care. Ads show up for people who care, and AI makes this thing possible. So in a nutshell, AI helps target the right people. So ads are useful, not annoying. So there are certain people that as you continue to be coming to them or going to them with their product, they become annoying because they don't need it. And always you come there, you come there, you come. But because the AI, they go to social media and other platforms, and using AI is able to know who those people who will likely to accept your product or buy from you. And instead of using the traditional method to chase people, where you become annoying to them. Another example is creating content with AI. AI helps us to create content, good content, quality content. When it comes to ads, emails, and social media posts. For instance, if you have an ad, traditionally you can create 2 or 3 ads for the same product, and you realize that you get to a point you are stuck, you are lack of ideas. But I can tell you, AI can create 10 times of ads based on the same product. So they have the ability to generate a lot of ads based on one single product without lacking of ideas like we humans do or the traditional methods does. And the same applies to email. AI can write a lot of emails or vary the content anytime you want to write, or using cold emails, the AI will be able to do it and make things very easier. The same applies to social media posts. The same applies to social media posts. So, for example, one of the examples of the ads, I said one product, many versions. One product, many versions. And then another example on TikTok, captions written by AI. So if you want to write a catchy hook, a caption that can hook your customers or the potential customers, and sometimes traditionally you are lack of ideas. How am I going to write a hook that will be able to attract these people? And AI make this thing easier and all possible. And not to like having a writer who never sleeps. And we know AI never sleeps. 24/7, AI will be working. If you have automated your product, or you are using a customer relation management platform, CRM, you realize that you can automate a lot of tasks, and AI will be working 24/7 while you sleep. And it will make your work so easier for you. You'll be posting every day. People might think you are doing it manually, but that is when you are using AI. You can write and schedule, use about 30 minutes, generate all your posts, and then schedule them, and then using the customer relation management platform and through AI, and then you'll be posting every day and make your work or marketing very easier. Another example is testing what works. Testing what works. AI runs many tests at once. AI runs many tests at once. AI has the ability to run many tests simultaneously. So 10 hairline tester, AI can test 10 hairlines, or let's say hooks, 10 of them at once. AI can pick the one people that click most. When you are on social media, AI can pinpoint the person who is actually click most on your ads and then other social media posts. And this is what we call A/B testing. So instead of choosing one idea, AI tests many and let data decide the winner. So instead of choosing one idea, AI can test many of these ideas and then identify the winning idea that is going to help you to market and grow. So example 4 is personalization. Every customer wants personalization. For instance, if you go to Welcher joint, you see that the customer will come and tell the Welcher seller, maybe today or tomorrow when I come, I want more shito, okay, and then less salad. The next customer will come, they will tell you, I want fewer shito, and then more salad. Another will come, he said, I don't want shito, I don't want salad, I want egg. But so how, as a seller or a marketer, how are you going to personalize your product to be able to suit it very well, preference of all customers, which traditionally it was difficult to do. But now AI is making it possible to be able to achieve all these things. So example is Amazon recommend product just for you. Amazon can use AI to study your pattern and then will recommend personalized product that you are really looking for. Spotify can create your personal playlist. Spotify can create your personal playlist. Your music recommendations are unique to your taste. So every person sees different suggestions based on their interest. So when you go to this platform, Spotify and Amazon, you realize that because they are using AI, they are able to personalize it. And so every person will see different suggestions based on their interest. And that will not make the person likely to buy their product. So people feel understood. So in a nutshell, people feel understood. So the right thing is making your customers or your potential customers feel understood, and that is made easier, far cheaper, and with speed using artificial intelligence. And when people feel understood, what happens? Equal to sales. If people feel understood, then mean they will buy from you and you'll be making sales. And as you are making sales, you'll be getting more profits and your business will grow. Then you will grow. So when people see things they like, they are more likely to click, listen, or buy. So growth hacking with AI. Growth hacking with AI. AI helps you grow faster. AI helps you grow faster. Finding patterns human miss. Finding patterns human miss. So AI it has the ability to be able to identify certain nuances, small changes that would have been very difficult for humans to be able to identify. So for instance, a curve that would traditionally we have assumed to be linear, but because of AI, because we make a lot of assumptions to make the curve linear, AI is able to identify the nuances and be able to make sure the curve realize that the curve is no more linear, but rather exponential type of curve. And so AI is able to identify patterns that human miss. AI is able to automate work. AI handle repetitive tasks automatically. AI has the ability to spotting viral opportunities. AI identify what content will spread quickly. AI can identify what content will spread quickly. So in summary, what I would say is that apps sending invites at the perfect time is very crucial. Sending your art, your social media posts at the perfect time is crucial. Sending your emails to users at their most active time is also crucial. So instead of sending your emails during the night or at dawn where people are asleep and who are not active, it's likely to delay the response that you'll be getting from them. And AI can help you grow or be able to identify these patterns and which time to be able to send your emails or to make your post on social media to be able to achieve results. So at today's point, that's where I'm going to end my presentation. And if there is any question, then the participants can ask. Thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philemon, for that insight on marketing and AI hacks. I believe a lot of participants have been able to get an insight as far as the topic is concerned. So we move straight to the third speaker. So move on to the third speaker by name Mr. Ikings Kwebena Armstrong, all the way from Ghana. So Mr. Ikings is a dynamic digital marketing strategist, cybersecurity analyst, and public speaker from Ghana, committed to leveraging technology for business growth, youth empowerment, and social impact across Africa. With over 4 years of hands-on experience in marketing, branding, and digital strategy, Iking has worked with startups, small and medium-sized enterprises, and multinational organizations, helping them to design and execute digital strategies that enhance visibility, strengthen brand positioning, and drive meaningful engagement. He currently serves as the Chief Operating Officer at K-Tech Africa, where he contributes to operational strategy and digital innovation, and as the Director for Media and Communication at Studentpreneur Africa Network, shaping digital narratives that empower youth, entrepreneurs, and student founders across the continent. Iking's expertise cuts across digital marketing, influencer marketing, public relations, social media strategies, e-commerce, and cybersecurity awareness. He has successfully led campaigns that bridge the gap between brands and consumers, supporting digital transformation initiatives across diverse industries. Beyond the corporate space, Hiking deeply involves in youth activism and community development. He is the president of the Rotaract Club of Accra Blue Crest and founder of Gen Z for Change Ghana, a youth-led movement advocating for good governance, civic engagement, and youth empowerment. Through these platforms, he continues to mentor and inspire young Africans to become active contributors to economic and social development. As a public speaker, Aikins develops impactful sessions on leadership, digital transformation, branding, and sustainable development, motivating young entrepreneurs to harness technology as a tool for growth and long-term success. In today's, he will be speaking on fintech, youth, and Africa's economic future. So once again, you're highly welcome, Mr. Aikins, and over to you. Mr. Aikins, are you there, please? Your mic is muted, please. Can you unmute your mic? Mr. Aikins, your mic is muted. I don't know if you can get me, please. It seems as if Mr. Aikins is having some issues with his network. All right, so before we bring up Mr. Aikins, I'm just going to give the floor to Dr. Wen Magen, who is the host for the African Digital Conference 2026 in Ethiopia. So he's going to give us a little update on how the conference is going to look like. I don't know if he is ready for that. I think let me bring you up. Doctor, are you there, please?
Now with the hearing, my name. Yes, I hear you. Okay. Thank you for giving this chance for Africa Digital Conference. My name is Dr. Ondamagany Asfaw, and I am the one of organized the Ethiopian Africa Digital Conference. Please, the Ethiopian peoples around here, let me introduce with Amharic. ስሜ ዶክተር ወንድማገኝ አስፋው እባላለሁ። የሲኤምኤን ተቋም ፕሬዚደንት እና መሪ ነኝ። ደግሞ የአፍሪካ ዲጂታል ኮንፈረንስ ኢትዮጵያ ላይ ያለውን ደግሞ ለማስጀመር ዝግጅት ላይ ነን ያለና ብቻ እስቲ ያላችሁ አለን አማርኛ የምትሰሙ ለእናንተ እድሉን ሰጣችኋለሁ ማለት ነው። ድምጼ ከተሰማችሁ ካልተሰማችሁ ወደ እንግሊዘኛ ቀይራለሁ ማለት ነው። እሺ ኦኬ። ስለዚህ የኢትዮጵያው የዲጂታል ኮንፈረንስ ፕሮግራም ያው የእናንተን እገዛ ይፈልጋል። ስለዚህ እናንተ እዚህ ያላችሁ ከታች በኋላ እንገናኝና እንዴት የኢትዮጵያን ፕሮግራም ደግሞ በአካል ነው የምናዘጋጀው ይህን ፕሮግራም ደግሞ አብረን እንደምናስተባብር ተስፋ አደርጋለሁ ማለት ነው። the digital Africa Digital Conference Ethiopia on not virtual program. It is in Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia. Addis Ababa, we can organize maybe in the will of God in February or in March. Maybe we can arrange and anyone to communicate with the Ethiopian digital conference. Let me see you, say in my personal or you are chat in this, we can coordinate the program of the Ethiopia. So thank you for this opportunity for the Ethiopian peoples around in this Africa Digital Conference. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asfo. So Dr. Asfo is currently the host for the African Digital Conference in Ethiopia, which I believe is going to be the first event we're going to have this year. For the other countries, I'm sure by tomorrow, we are going to, give you details about the conferences in other countries. If not, then in our various communities, you're going to get the details on when these conferences will be coming up. So we are really working on that massively. I think for the event venue is already set and other logistics are currently being handled. And once all that has been done, we are going to announce the exact date when the event is going to take place. So if you are in any other country and you wish to be part of that conference, make sure you get to us. The opportunity which most of you who are here will get is that we are really going to, we will treat you special as far as that event is concerned. So kindly contact the host. We are going to share the contact of the host when the time comes, and everything which has to do with the events will be communicated duly. So once again, thank you, Mr. Asfo, for giving us, giving everyone the opportunity and being the spearhead as far as the conference in Ethiopia is concerned. So I don't know if Mr. Ikings is ready. I think he is. So I'm just going to bring Mr. Ikings up and he can proceed. Mr. Ikings, can you get me now? Kindly indicate. Mr. Ikings, kindly check your mic, please. Mr. Ikings? Yeah, but you've been brought up. Just check your mic and see you're trying to get to me. You just have to unmute your mic. Just give me 1 minute. Let me get to him. All right, so please from Ethiopia, we'll be moving to Ghana. Okay, so those of you who are here and want to be part of the Ghana team for the African Digital Conference, please make sure you get to me after this event. What does he mean by his link is a participant link? I think he just disconnected again. Let me check. Mr. Ikings. Let's try again 1 minute if we can get to Mr. Ikings. Yeah, Mr. Ikings, can you get me now? I think your mic is on. Kindly indicate.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. I'm really grateful. It's been a lot with technology. Thank you very much, Mr. Matunde and the organizers of this wonderful meetup. I mean, this seminar it's so beautiful to be here once again. Last year we did such a wonderful seminar. I'm really grateful. I hope I'm audible, sir.
Yes, you are.
All right. Thank you very much. Is it possible you put on my PowerPoint for me? I'm unable to do
Yes,
that.
I've done that already. So you can
All right.
proceed.
All right. Thank you very much. So once again, thank you very much. My name is Akins Kwabna Armstrong. Akins Kwabna Armstrong. And good evening, distinguished participants, young professionals, students, innovators, and future leaders of our beautiful Africa. Thank you very much once again for joining. My name is Akins Kwabna Armstrong. I stand here, or I'm here right now, not only to speak about fintech, but to speak about power, policy, and political economy of Africa's future. So it's going to be about fintech, it's going to be about the youth, and it's going to be Africa's economic future. All right. So because finance has never been neutral, money has always been political. Now, before we continue, I know there are over 80 people here. I would like to see a thumbs up from at least 50 people, so that I know that we are all together. At least a thumbs up from 50 people, so that I know we are all together. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let it keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Thank you very much. All right. So whilst we are listening, keep sharing the link so that others can also join. We don't we don't want to be selfish with knowledge. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good. All right, so
lady, explain about. And
do that.
you know, I found that.
Sorry about that. You can proceed. Sorry about that. I've just muted the person.
Oh, okay. The person was speaking
Yeah.
tree, so I understood that. All right. So because finance has never been neutral, money has always been political. And in the digital age, who controls financial system controls opportunities. And now I would want you to cast your mind to the United States and their president, President Trump. And I'll repeat that statement again. In the digital age, who controls financial systems control opportunities. The conversation about fintech is not only about apps, it is about state capacity, governance, sovereignty, inclusion. All right. So Africa's reality, that's the first. Can we move to the first slide? Africa's reality. Africa is the world's youngest continent. This is often said with pride, but rarely with honesty. You see, we always say it, we are always embellishing it as though it is something, but it's actually something. But then we are just saying it. But rarely being honest with it. Because while we are young, millions of Africans remain unbanked and or underbanked. The word unbanked there means people who do not have bank accounts or who cannot be accounted during what's the name using the banking systems. Are you with me? If you are with me, give me a thumbs up, please. I like it when we are engaging. All right. So informal work dominates youth employment not by choice but by necessity. Informal works dominates youth employment not by choice but by necessity. And access to finance has historically been shaped by colonial banking models, weak institutions, and exclusionary systems. Please, can you move to the first slide for me, please, Mr. Tunde? Thank you very much. So that's where we are right now, Africa's reality. Access to finance has historically been shaped by colonial banking models, weak institutions, and exclusionary systems. For decades now, African states failed to design financial systems that reflect African realities. You know, our realities are different from the realities in China. Our realities are different from the realities in America and also in the UK or in Europe. Fintech emerged not because government planned it, but because the systems left too many people behind. Like my grandmother in the village, if I would need to send her money, there was no way possible for her to have money. So it emerged not because government want it to happen, but then it's because what the system left too many people behind. So someone will ask, what is fintech? Let's like this. What is fintech? Someone will ask, what is fintech? You can write whatever you think fintech is in the comment section right there. So fintech comes from two words: financial technology. So fintech is technology-enabled financial services. But politically speaking, fintech is restructuring of financial power. It determines 1, who can transact, 2, who can save, 3, who can access credit, 4, who is visible to the state. I'll take it again. It determines who can transact, who can save, who can access credit, who is visible to the state. This is why fintech is not apps, it is access. I would like you to note that. And even if you don't get anything from here today, you are living with that main statement. Fintech is not apps, it is access. Payments, savings, credits, insurance, trades. These are not coincidence or even conveniences. These are economic rights. So when we ask, where is our ministry of the future as Africans? I would like to ask that question. Where is our ministry of the future as Africans? I would like you to pay attention to this part. Where is our ministry of the future? Which African continent has the ministry of the future that plans on AI, that plans on whatever we do as a people in this country with regards to our future? Where is our ministry of the future? Please, am I audible? I want to know if I'm audible. Someone just texted that she can't hear. Am I audible, please?
You are audible. You are.
Oh, thank you very much. So, where is our ministry of the future? Now, we are asking, who is designing Africa's digital financial architecture? Who is designing Africa's financial architecture? Now, Africa's mobile money revolution, that's where we are right now. Africa did something remarkable. Without waiting for traditional banks, Africa built a mobile money-led financial ecosystem. Hundreds of millions of active accounts now exist across the continent. This was not accidental at all. It was a response to state and market failure. Africa did not wait for permission. Africa innovated. But innovation without policy is fragile. Let's take that note again. If you heard me right, just put it in the comment section. Innovation without policy is fragile. Now, why fintech matters to the youth? For young Africans, fintech is political because 1, it lowers barriers imposed by traditional institutions. You see, in the time when there were banks, let's take 2005, even 2005 in Ghana. I'll say Ghana because that's where I am basically. And Ghana is said to be the gateway to Africa. Pardon me, because that is what it is. In 2005 in Ghana, a child of about 8 years and of 13 years cannot participate in banking activities. These are really, what's the name? Loans, access, what's the name? Send money to someone or even receive money, have access to money, even save money in Ghana. It was not possible. But mobile money, using a mobile phone, has enabled that. So it has lowered barriers imposed by traditional institutions such as the banks. It has enabled participation without formal employment. Formally, before you have a bank account, you have to be illiterate, because an illiterate having access to a bank account will not know what they use it for. You understand? That's why they keep saving money under their beds for fire to burn. And our mothers who sell in the markets, we're not even having access to be able to save their own money. Be able to save their own money. You understand? So it has enabled participation without formal employment or even formal knowledge. All right. It has expanded economic citizenship beyond borders. Understand? Now people can participate in the economy of Ghana without being in Ghana. I know Nigerian friends of mine who can participate in trade in Ghana, buy stuff, send to Nigeria, sell, buy stuff from Nigeria, bring to Ghana, sell. These are economic trades, which was enabled by these platforms. So fintech reduces the distance between talent and opportunity. I would want you to know this as well. Fintech reduces the distance between talent and opportunity, but policy determines who benefits from that reduction. Without deliberate policy, fintech can reproduce inequality in digital form. What mobile money changed? 1, mobile money included the unbanked. As I mentioned earlier, people were unable to participate in banking activities such as savings, such as loans, being able to send transact money from one place to the other, they are unable to do that. Fintech has reduced cash, or mobile money has reduced cash dependency. You see, there was a time in Ghana when our former president, our former vice president, Dr. Bamiya, would say the port or our ports has become cashless. Now, this is as a reason of theft or corruption at those places. With the introduction of fintech, you realize that people do not go there and pay with cash anymore. They do all transactions via the phone. So the personnel don't get to see the money in order to steal it at the first place. You understand? It has reduced dependencies, cash dependencies, and reduced the corruption. Formalized informal transactions, created data trails. You see, when there are trails, we can determine who is stealing, who is not stealing. But when you are using cash, how would you know who is stealing? How would you know someone is laundering money or not? But most importantly, it forced governments to recognize informal economies. Mobile money created Africa's fintech culture, but culture alone does not guarantee fairness. I'd like you to pay attention to this. Mobile money created Africa's fintech culture, but culture alone does not guarantee fairness. Our next slide. The challenge, local to continental finance. Can you move to the next slide, please? Despite this success, Africa, the next one. Okay, the next one. No, next. The next one, actually, it has title with local to continental finance. All right, let's continue. So despite the successes, Africa remains financially fragmented. It is often easier to trade with Europe or America than with neighboring African countries. How on earth is it possible that as an African, I cannot trade with my brother in East Africa? I cannot trade with my brother in Central Africa. It is very, very difficult to trade with my brother in South Africa. How come that we are not able to do this amongst ourselves? You see, I'll remind you of something Kwame Nkrumah mentioned. Our first president, he said, before he left, he made mention of neocolonialism, and it's going to be through money and through finance. And this is it. It is often easier to trade with Europe, America, than with neighboring African countries. Why? Because our financial systems still depend on one, foreign currency, the dollar. We still depend on the dollar. 2, external clearing systems. 3, non-African intermediaries. Before the coming of mobile money, the coming of all other African forms, I know Kenya also has one other one. If before the coming of this, all we had was foreign forms of sending money from one place to the other, and all of this, when you send it, they would have to translate or convert the money into the foreign currency before you can be able to participate in that finance or in that trade. This is not just inefficient. It is sovereignty. It is a sovereignty problem. So we may ask, how does Africa pay Africa? That statement, I want you to note that statement. How does Africa pay Africa? Then came the introduction of what we call PAPS, an African Payment and Settlement System. It was launched right in Ghana here. This system is referred to as Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. PAPS is a political instrument. It allows African countries to settle trade in local currency directly. And this reduces, 1, dependency on that foreign currency or foreign exchange. 2, the transaction cost reduced drastically, because if the cedi is trading with a Kenyan shillings, if the cedi is trading with a Nigerian naira, it becomes very, very less costly. External financial exposure. Now, our currencies do not become exposed to too much external factors. PAPS is not just infrastructure, it is economic integration in action. So it is the financial backbone of the African Continental Free Trade policy. That's the AFCFTA. And if we're able to do this as Africans, if we're able to do this and trade amongst ourselves using our own currencies, this will go a long way to serve us as ourselves. You know, making African borderless must begin somewhere. And before we actually achieve Africa that is borderless, we will need to trade amongst ourselves. We will need to be able to fly or travel amongst ourselves without any barriers. That's time that these colonial masters sat around the table like the dining table and shared Africa like pizza and demarcated all these regions. We still hold on to that. We still hold on to that mentality. And traveling from Ghana to Togo, traveling from Benin to Togo becomes a problem. If we're able to trade amongst ourselves, this will be a thing of the past. So why PAPS matters to young Africans? And I know there are young people here. If you're a young person here, let me see a thumbs up, okay? I'd like to see a thumbs up, all right? This should be very, very, yes, thumbs up, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So why PAPS matters to young Africans? For young Africans, PAPS means continental market for labor and services. That means you can be in Ghana and work in South Africa. You can be in Ghana and work in Morocco. You can be in Ghana and work at different places of this continent. That is a continental market for labor and services. So as a web designer as well, I'm not sure it was mentioned, as a web developer as well, I've been able to build a lot of applications, built a lot of websites for neighboring African countries, right? Being in Ghana here, I've not moved an inch, but have been able to traveled by and made money on it. Just build a website, build an application for them. I think about 2 weeks ago, my team and I, we used 3 days to build a mortuary system, all right, mortuary management system that we built for a certain company in South Africa. They paid beautifully, you understand? And if you're able to do this amongst ourselves, Africa will develop. If Africa is solving African problems, then we will develop. Number two, lower barriers to cross-border entrepreneurship, as I just mentioned. 3, retention of African capital within Africa. So you see, if a Kenyan is able to trade with me, a Ghanaian, the money remains in Africa. It doesn't go to China. It doesn't go to Russia. It doesn't go to the Europe. It remains here in Africa. And if it remains in Africa, that means Africa is building. Africa has money. Africa is no more that poor picture they show on CNN. That trees and monkeys they show on CNN. But then Africa will become rich. So borders should not block African money, but policy must ensure PAPS benefits people, not just corporations. All right. So fintech and the future of work. The future of work is being redefined. You understand? As I just mentioned, I'm in Ghana, but then I'm working for people in South Africa. I'm working for people in Zambia. I'm working for people in Nigeria. I'm working for people in Sierra Leone. I'm working for people in Morocco. Working for people in Chad, Egypt. If this happens, the future of work is being redefined. You understand? Money is becoming data-driven identity. But here's the political question. Someone will say, I like asking questions a lot. Yes, I do. Who owns the data? When money is becoming data-driven identity, who owns the data? Who regulates that algorithm? I know there are programmers here, so you understand me. Who regulates that algorithm? Algorithm basically are the rules that what's the name? Are behind the code. Who regulates that algorithm? Who protects citizens from digital exclusion? Unlike America placing tariffs on other countries such as even Mali and Burkina Faso and other countries in Africa, it is because of money. It's always because of money. It is always because of finances. They know what they get from Africa. They know what they are making of Africa. So without policy, digital identity becomes digital control. That means Africa needs what? Policy. What are the risks involved or risks we must manage when it comes to fintech and its other services? Let us be clear. Let us be very, very clear now. Fintech carries serious risks. As an IT person, as a cybersecurity analyst, I know this. Fintech carries serious risks. Number one, data abuse. So misuse of people's personal information without consent or protection. You see, when you do not control your own platforms, you do not control your data can be misused, and you cannot hold anybody accountable. By the time you are trying to complain somewhere, please, you are a minute person, or you are minute in that chain. So your voice does not matter. So let us control our own data. That way, there shall not be what? No data abuse. Cyber fraud. Most of us know this. In Ghana, about 9 people have been picked already for engaging in cyber fraud, stealing on the internet, and all and all other vices. All right. Digital exclusion, whereby people who are unable to read or write be excluded in this beautiful revolution. Unregulated AI, artificial intelligence used without rules, ethics, or accountability. I asked a question earlier. Where is Africa's Ministry of the Future? If Africa had Ministry of the Future, then there shall be ministry that is in charge of artificial intelligence, and that ministry shall bring about policies that shall protect Africa and Africans. See, a time shall come. There was a time that photography was not referred to as an intellectual property, but it took 50 years. It became an intellectual property. Very soon, it's already happening. People who are into what's the name, artificial intelligence, who are making arts from artificial intelligence, very soon it's going to be there. If it's already not there, correct me if I'm wrong. That there are what's the name, IPs placed. There are IPs placed on these artworks. All right, loss of trust. You see, if this data abuse, cyber fraud, digital exclusion, unregulated AI comes together, it makes us the citizens, it makes us Africans, it makes us as Ghanaians lose trust in these systems. So when citizens stop believing in digital systems and institutions, it will collapse. If Africans don't support African products, if Africans don't support Africans, will collapse. But then we must be able to make sure that all these factors shall not occur. Why policy matters? Why policy matters? Policy is not a barrier to innovation. Bad policy is. I'd like to repeat that. Policy is not a barrier to innovation, but bad policy is. Kindly take note of this. Write it in the comment section. Policy is not a barrier, but to innovation, bad policy is. So good policy, such as good policy protects consumers. All right. Good policies build trust. Good policies enable skill. Good policies ensure interoperability. Good policies guard public interest. Interoperability basically means being able to send money or conduct your day-to-day activities from let's just take so in Ghana we have Telecel, we have MTN. Being able to send money from MTN to Vodafone or send money from Vodafone to MTN, vice versa, or Telecel. That basically interoperability, being able to do all this. Policy is how states reclaim authority in the digital economy. If we want to reclaim our authority in this digital economy, Africa must wake up. Africa must be up and doing. There was a time that China had to close down and revolutionize, and currently they are fighting. They are currently seen as a threat to America. Africa must close down. Africa must trade amongst itself. Africans must come together and say, no, this is what we want. Let's come together, close down, and revolutionize. We are currently in the fourth revolution, fourth industrial revolution. Africa must see this. The role of young Africans. Next slide. Young Africans must not be passive users. You must, one, understand systems. It is so beautiful that currently you have young Africans who are building systems that are so beautiful, building smart systems, building better systems, and even using AI to its max. For those of millennials who do not know, for those of the Gen X who do not know, please, I beg to ask, or I beg to say, ChatGPT is not AI. AI is not ChatGPT. There's more to AI than ChatGPT. So stop using ChatGPT as Google, please. There are better things to do there. The other day, what's the name? A friend of mine's mother was searching for some words. It was a news on the Ghanaian portals, and she asked me. I was in the house that day. She asked me, so she has heard about this and she wants to ask AI what is going on. And I was like, so she's using AI as a news portal. Please, AI can do more than that. AI can do more than that. Thank you very much. Let's educate ourselves. I've realized that the youth in Africa are doing more with it. Let's educate ourselves. So young Africans must not be passive users. Africans must demand accountability. Africans must demand accountability. Africans must demand accountability. Africans must demand accountability. I'm stressing on this. Africans must demand accountability. We must shape policy discourse. You see, when we do not participate in policy discourse, we are then left out. Recently, there was a constitutional what's the name? Review committee that was set up by the government of Ghana. I don't know if you've heard of it. And the age limit for to become a president in Ghana was suggested that it should be reduced to 30 years. And that is a beautiful thing, because formally, if you're not 40 years in Ghana, you cannot be president. If 30 years, you can be president. That is beautiful. That means a youth can become president. That should tell you that the youth were part of this discourse. If you do not participate in this discourse, there's an adage in Ghana that says that if when you eat and you don't give people get angry at you. So if you do not participate in this, please, you later on come and say that you are not being included. But please participate in it. I am a youth, and currently I am part of those who are currently putting together Ghana's NPO bill. All right, NPO or NGO bill in Ghana. We need to put ourselves in this basis. We need to participate in the discourse. We need to build African solutions. You see, when Africans build African solutions, Africa becomes rich. One, those solutions become lasting, because the white man does not know our solutions. Someone in the US does not know our solutions. We are the only ones that can save ourselves. There's no one coming to save us. China will not come and save us. Russia will not come and save us. Europeans will not save us. Trump, will even come and arrest your president. Please, let's build African solutions. Youth are not users only. They are builders and citizens. The youth must be builders and citizens. Don't just be in the country. Become a participant. Be a citizen. Participate in the discourse. Participate in everything in the country. That is when you shall be called African. How can you be called African and you will sit aloof? When did you learn that Africans are cowards? Africans are never cowards. Africans are very strong, and we must be able to build and become citizens. And let us build Africa together. So the leadership in the fintech era. Africa needs leaders who understand one, technology. A leader who understands one, technology. And I can say our president in Ghana understands that very well. But then there's more room for improvement. African leaders must understand finance. They must understand ethics. And anytime I bring ethics around, that corruption aspect should be taken out. African leaders must understand power. And when we talk about power, we do not want what is happening in Togo, that one man, one family can rule a country for over 50 years. What kind of life is that? What kind of life is that? How do we develop if one man is ruling the whole country in Togo? The future belongs to those who govern innovation wisely. I will take that again. The future belongs to those who govern innovation wisely. Please write that in the comment section. I know there are about 80 people there. At least 50 people should do it. The future belongs to those who govern innovation wisely. FinTech connected Africa. Financial technology has connected Africa. Mobile money included Africa. PAPS has integrated Africa. But policy determines whether Africa merely digitizes dependency or builds digital sovereignty. Thank you. Africa shall develop one country at a time. Thank you very much. My name is Akins Kwabena Armstrong. Over to you, Tunde.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aikins, for that explicit talk. I believe everyone has really been able to get one or two as far as FinTech is concerned. So we are going to now take a couple of questions. Before we move to the panel discussion, we are going to take a couple of questions from the participants. So if you have a question, please, to any of the speakers we just spoke today, kindly ask your questions in the chat. And of course, we are going to redirect the questions to whosoever you want them to answer. Or if you want to, give out a general question to any of the speakers, then just do that and they are going to, answer the question. So kindly, we just have 2 minutes to do that exercise, then we move to the panel discussion. Questions? Questions? Let's see, let me check. All right, let's see. All right, the question is coming from Malcolm, says, are regulations and dependency on donors hindering the digital revolution in Africa? So are regulations and dependency on donors hindering the digital revolution in Africa? So can any of the speakers please attend to that question coming from Malcolm?
All right. Can I take this one?
Yes, please.
All right. So thank you very much, Malcolm. There's a saying in Ghana that goes like this: "Who feeds you determines what you do." The man that gives you money or the man that gives you food is the one that tells you where to sleep, where to lie. And I would not want to talk about LGBTQ here, but then there was a time that when foreign aid was coming to some countries like Ghana, there were a lot of things tied to it. Accept LGBT or will not give you the money. Yes. Your question that states that regulations and dependencies on donors hindering the digital revolution in Africa. Yes, it is. It actually is. Because he who gives you money is the one that feeds you. And you see, this negotiation, before they give you the money, you think they give Africa money for free? No. Nobody gives free food. Not even in Freetown. So before they give you the money, there are things that come with it. You must do this, you must do that, you must do this. And our leaders, because they need the money, will say, yes, we'll do it. That is why even there comes a time that there will be no employment in a country because, I mean, into the government systems, because IMF has placed a ban on employment. So yes, it's actually hindering the digital revolution in Africa.
All right, thank you very much for that. Any other question? Let's take one more before we move to the panel discussion. All right, so before we move to the panel, it seems there is a question here. All right, there are no questions. All right, so before we move to the Q&A session, I'm just going to give the opportunity for the previous speakers or the speakers who have already spoken to share a little bit about themselves in terms of their business, what they do, and how their services can be can help those who are currently attending this session. So I'm going to begin with Mr. Aiking, which just ended the talk. So you can just share a little bit about yourself, about your business if you own one, and of course, how helpful whatever you do can be to the participants who are currently listening.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So as Africans, we must become the builders of Africa, and we must solve African problems. If you are not part of the problem, then you are part of this. If you're not part of the solution, then you are definitely part of the problem. So currently, as KTech Africa, that is my company, we build African apps, we build African websites, help in marketing African businesses. We are mainly into African businesses and African solutions. That's basically what we do. And we build solutions, applications, being it web application, mobile application, everything. And we are seriously into marketing, being in 360 marketing, being it influencer marketing, and all that. We also help people to secure their homes when it comes to cybersecurity, secure their devices in the office as well. I'll be dropping my link to my LinkedIn here for us to also follow up from there. All right, and at GenVision Alliance is an NGO that we help in training the youth. We help in training small, young boys and girls in digital skills, being it web design, being it graphic design, whatever, robotics and all that. We help them. We help in doing this for free, and this is what we are doing to give back to the society and give back to our continent, Africa. Also, at GenVision Alliance, we do other things as an NGO. We help people when it comes to, people who do not even have a place to sleep, orphans and all that. We help all these people. Thank you very much. That's what we do as.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Aiking. So I believe you all have heard from him. And if you think any of his services are important to you, please don't hesitate to contact Mr. Aiking. He's going to drop his LinkedIn handle in the chat so you can easily connect with him. We move to Mr. Gideon. This is the first time Mr. Gideon is speaking. I believe we are going to have a lot of discussion. So Mr. Gideon, please kindly unmute your mic. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I think I already did your formal introduction, but just tell us about your business. Our main goal here is to know what you offer or what you do and how helpful you can to the participants who are here.
All right.
Mr. Gideon?
Confirm can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. All right, so just like Mr. Kamon mentioned, my name is Gideon Ajagbawa, and I am the founder and CEO of Think Positive Movements. Basically, what we do is just try to build an ecosystem that provides skill development and access to employability and professional growth for African young professionals. So what we do basically, we liaise and partner with HRs, recruitment agencies, and companies who are actually looking forward to hire professionals for their company. So what we do is that we have the ecosystem that has the ready-made candidates for the employment, and then we don't just give you the professional skills, we give you access to what you need, which is the employment. So we start by creating, how do I call it, an atmosphere for your training, from training to volunteering activities, from volunteering to internship to industrial expert, and then connecting you with jobs. So we call it TPM Link Up. So basically that is what we do. So if you're here and you would love to partner with us with any of the organizations or your company or whatever it is, feel free to reach out. So thank you so much, Mr. Kamon.
All right, thank you. Which country precisely?
Yeah, we are in Nigeria.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so we moved to Madam Gumsiruchi. I think I already did a formal introduction. So just introduce yourself again and tell us about your services or what you actually do and how helpful you can to the participants in the platform.
Good evening, everybody. It's quite an honor to be part of such an insightful conference. I've actually learned a lot. My name is Ngumsiri Abetinchi. I'm currently working as the operations director for an ICT institute, Faila ICT Institute, where we train not just students but professionals, students on digital skills like how to build websites, um, social media management, cyber security. We also train offices on how to use basic Microsoft Office tools, how to be effective, project management, and the rest. It will go a long way to helping us not only doing our job, but doing it digitally since we're in a digital era. I've actually learned a lot, and we are on all social media platforms at Faela ICT Institute. Anybody looking to start their digital journey, anybody that doesn't have time to manage their online presence or have an amazing website, we are here and ready to serve you with budget. Our budget is very friendly. Thank you, Mr. Tamon, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Please, if you need any service which has been, mentioned by Madam Gumsuru, feel free to contact her. Which country, please?
We are located in Cameroon, precisely in Douala, the economic capital.
All right. Thank you very much. So we move on to Mr. Philemon Giaba. I think we already did a formal introduction. Just kindly unmute your mic and tell us services which you offer. Mr. Philemon, are you there? All right, while waiting for Mr. Philemon, we can move to Madam Yetunde. All right. I think they okay. Madam Yetunde is here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can get you.
Oh, okay. So I am reaching out. Well, I'm currently in Ghana, but I work from Nigeria and I run MGP Communication Limited and My Dream Connect. My Dream Connect is the foundation and it's being powered by MGP Communication. What we basically do is we do web development, application development, and we also teach through the My Dream Connect platform skills related to what programming, data analytics, cybersecurity, product development, and digital media skills. We run programs like the Tech Bootcamp for Youth. We have Code Camp for Teens. We have my Entrepreneurship Trust Fund for aspiring youth. Yeah, aspiring tech. Yeah, so youth that are building stuff in tech, and then we also have the talent marketplace where we connect our participants to employers that are interested in engaging them either as freelancer or full-time staff or in any good way that will be profitable to our participants as well as add value to employers that are going to be engaging them. These are the things that we do, and on a yearly basis, we tend to get back to teenagers in schools to ensure that we support them uh, in some kind of way that has to do with their education. We provide them materials that can help them, enjoy learning. So we are open to partnership with organizations that are interested in working with our, um, our people, teens, youth, and women. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So we move straight to the panel discussion, and most of my questions will be thrown to Mr. Gideon and Madame Gumsira Albertine, because I think they have not spoken since we started this day 2 of the African Digital Conference. So my first question will go to Madame Gumsira. So I believe you've been in the digital marketing space for quite some time now. You train both beginners, intermediaries, and of course, big organizations, staffs for organizations that really want to, incorporate digital marketing in their businesses. So from your experience, how would you explain digital literacy today, especially to people who think it's just about using social media? Because I've noticed that from the time which I've been carrying out some 1 or 2 workshops around African countries, we noticed that they pay more attention to social media platforms as compared to the other digital marketing modules. So how would you explain digital literacy today, especially to people who think it's just about using social media?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tamon. I'll start by asking the same question in a simple way. Is digital literacy knowing how to post on these different platforms or knowing why we are posting? Because in my experience, I've seen people post every day, but even their close friends don't even know what they do. For me, digital literacy is not about being everywhere online. It's about you knowing what you're doing. It's about having clarity. Being busy online doesn't always mean you're moving forward. Digital literacy is about your intention, using these different digital tools to solve real problems and not just to stay active. Just like Mr. Atkins did mention in his presentation, that if you are not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So as we are all getting into the digital era, let's try not only to use these tools, but make sure that we are actually being productive, knowing why we are on the different platforms and not just posting randomly.
All right, thank you very much for that. So my next question goes to Mr. Gideon. So, Mr. Gideon, you've been in the digital field for quite some time now, and of course, you must have come to contact with, with technical digital skills, and of course, with soft skills, soft digital skills. So, what soft skills do you believe are just as important as technical skills in the future of work?
All right, amazing. Thank you so much for that question. And I believe you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I get the question right, you say, like, what soft skills do I believe are as important as technical digital skills in the future of work? Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so first of all, we need to distinguish the differences between digital skills and the soft skills. So digital skills are the technical tools we use. That is how you can make use of technical skills and digital tools per se. Why soft skills are acquired personal and interpersonal, something like communication skills, adaptive skills, adaptability, and thereabouts. So if I would go straight to the question, which is what soft skills do I believe are just as important? So to me, I believe basically all soft skills are important, but in between all, there is one major one that is very, very quiet important, and you can't do without, because even while you are using digital technical skills, it is same thing. If you are not as good as better with the soft skills, you cannot make use of the technical digital skills very well. Okay, let me just mention it. I'm talking about the communication skills. For instance, you want to use a digital skills like Zoom, or like let's just say AI, because we are in the digital, I mean, era of AI, right? I will say something. If you want to use AI, I cannot prompt AI, then AI will use you. So before you can know how to use AI, before you can use AI, I don't know what AI you are using or the one you're familiar with. If you cannot communicate well your idea, your initiative, your intuition better with the AI is just going to be giving you its own directives. So in the space of all technical digital skills, the soft skills that I believe is as much as important. In quotes, all other soft skills are very great, but one I believe it's much more important, because I work virtually, and basically what we use in my work, I work in Nigeria, my company is in Canada, right? And if I don't have these communication skills or these soft skills that knows how to communicate between all area of digital and technical skills, then what is the essence of me being at work? So the one that stands out to me is communication skills. Even if you are writing on LinkedIn, even if you are communicating on trying to like schedule a call with your Google Calendar, just like we are here on Microsoft's team. There's some people that today is the first time they will be using it. It takes communication skills for them to know how to use this digital tools. So I believe that answers your question, sir. Hello, Mr. Tamon. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I can hear you.
Oh,
Yes, I can hear you.
sorry. Thank you very much. Sorry, my mic was muted. Sorry. Thank you very much for that answer. You really, expatiated on that question very well. Thank you so much. So please don't go. My next question still goes to you. So, what role does digital confidence play in helping individuals transition from traditional careers to future-focused opportunities?
Wow, this is kind of tricky a bit. Traditional careers and future focused opportunities. Okay, let me just break it down. When we say traditional careers, I believe that is your own personal career that you're trying to build and leverage on as that your personal branding. Why future focused opportunities are what you are aspiring for, to like an opportunity that might come later in the future, right? So what roles does digital confidence play in helping individuals transition? The thing is, once you are familiar with, okay, let me say it this way. I was in a conversation with someone. So my company is trying to adopt a CRM to which is HubSpot. I believe majorly every one of us should know what HubSpot is. If you don't know, you can check it out. HubSpot is one of a complicated digital tool, right? It's not like Slack. It's not like Google Workspace that you can easily navigate around. We have to bring people from HubSpot company to come and train one of our staff. I mean, some of our staffs, and then we get trained into it. So to me, I don't like the HubSpot because why? It's just too large. So I was telling someone that why are they bringing HubSpot, blah blah blah. So someone was like, "Yo, Gideon, I know you. There is no digital tool you cannot use. Once you just get yourself on it, few minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you are good." I just laughed. So once you have this literacy of how to use digital tools and you know how to communicate better, like I said earlier, it actually gives you this confidence, this high self-esteem, this energy booster that, okay, just bring it on. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure that some people are here who haven't used Microsoft thing before, but here they are. Some were joining at some point and they were like, I cannot hear anything, I cannot hear anything. At some point, they figure out how to use it, right? So when you're in the interview session and they're asking you, can you use this? Even though you know that you can't use it, but you believe because you have this digital literacy, it gives this confidence that, okay, I can't use this. This is what we use in our company, but for the fact that I can use it, why not? Okay, for instance, when I started using Microsoft Excel, nobody taught me how to use Microsoft Excel. I learned it. I think I watched a 1 hour YouTube video, and then I just went to my laptop and I started using it. And that was my first job that I did. This following weekend, I got a job, and I was the one who introduced Microsoft Excel to them. Confidence for future focused opportunities. Can you see? Another thing is, if you're using Notion and Trello, I kind of like Notion because it is easy. But some people like Trello because it is easy. But the fact that I can use Trello, I can still navigate myself to Notion. So that is like the confidence. Can you see how it is helping individual? The fact that you know how to use this thing, even though there is no master of all, even though you just have a little idea about it or a basic idea, at some point, you're going to boost your confidence that, okay, whatever opportunity is coming that is future focused, so far I can do this, I can use it to attain this. So I believe I've answered the question, Mr. Kawan, and to all audiences.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much with very explicit examples. I believe it's well understood by the participants. So over to you, Madam Gumsirichi. So my next question to you is, what core digital skills should entrepreneurs and professionals prioritize to stay competitive over the next 5 years? So what skills do you think entrepreneurs and professionals should really prioritize if they have to be, they have to stay competitive for the next 5 years? Madam Gumsiri, can you get me? This question is for you.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry. Please, can you take the
Okay.
question again?
I say, what core digital skills should entrepreneurs and professionals prioritize? We know we have several digital skills. So which of them should entrepreneurs and professionals prioritize if they have to stay competitive for the next 5 years?
Okay. I would like to pull some points from the prior panelist. He did speak about communication. As an entrepreneur in Africa, most businesses lack soft skills. And when I'm talking about soft skills, I want to emphasize on customer service. So as an entrepreneur who is trying to stay relevant and still use digital skills, just like he said, the soft skills, mastering the soft skills give you a better fit using the hard skills. So entrepreneurs should make sure that their customer service is actually top notch. That they should keep confidence at the top of the list, and also to avoid burnout, they can train their staffs to use these digital skills. For example, now we have MTN and Orange in Cameroon. Before, if we have to buy like stuffs online, we had to go through prepaid cards from banks. But recently, MTN and Orange came out with visual cards. And with these visual cards, they have actually upgraded, and it's a new evolution. So for these entrepreneurs, they have to keep learning, keep innovating, keep looking for simpler methods to solve our problems digitally. Like for example, in my case, my UBA card sometimes always have issues with connections. But as compared to MTN, it is both faster, easier, and reliable. So to summarize, in order for these entrepreneurs to stay relevant, they need to keep their customer service top notch, and they need to be innovative and train their workers to use the basic digital skills that are available.
All right, thank you very much. Go. I still have one more question for you, please. So, over the years, you've worked with both beginners, those who want to become digital marketing professionals, and you've equally worked with professionals, especially workers who companies that need your services to train their workers to be professionals in the digital landscape. What skills do you think each group should focus on to stay relevant in the future?
As a beginner, I always say you don't have to have it all figured out. In the digital field, from my experience, people love to see you grow online. Don't wait until you're perfect before you come up. So, as a beginner, use what you have. Don't say, I need a mic to start creating content. I need this. Just use what you have. You don't need to have it all figured out. Choose one or two platforms and start with it. And you will learn as you go. Because when you're trying to master Facebook, you're trying to master Instagram, these platforms are constantly changing. And you find yourself swapping between these platforms, and at the end of the day, you will not achieve your goal. For professionals that already are in the market, I'll advise them to be consistent. For example, for a platform like Facebook, and you're an entrepreneur, once you're active for the first month, the next month you're not active, guess what? Facebook is going to show your competitors' content to your customers because you have not been active, and by so doing, you lose clients. So entrepreneurs should learn how to be consistent, and also not just being consistent. Let us move past just posting, but posting with intention. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at what is working on our various platforms. Let's look at the analytics to modify and make sure that we have a well-structured strategy we are following that will not only go to posting daily, but give us real results.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that answer. So my next question now goes to Madam Yetunde. So from a communication and a media perspective, how does digital literacy influence how African businesses and institutions tell their stories and engage modern audiences? I'll take it over again. So from a communication and media perspective, how does digital literacy influence how African businesses and institutions tell their stories and engage modern audiences?
Thank you very much, and thank you once again for having me. So, of course, we all know that digital literacy is all about understanding the digital space. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, understanding the digital space, the digital tools, and we can now use them to actually share your story and know how to perfectly use the tools. So now it is one thing to understand what the digital space is like and the different tools that exist and how to use them as a business, whether you are what we call a freelancer or you have an organization that you have set up for yourself. It's important that we all know the different platforms that work perfectly for the work that we do so that we can take advantage of the different digital tools and platforms to expand, to enhance and expand our businesses in Africa. And then, in addition to that, it is important that as business owners, while we are promoting our businesses, it is important that we communicate clearly and authentically across all platforms. It's not a good thing to paint a picture, just because we're trying to sell a product to are you thinking, oh yes, they like, so for example, well, sometimes I question why all billboards, usually then, there was a time I used to look at it then. I'm just saying, why do they have to use women that are half naked? Just because you want people to see your product? No, we should use the opportunity actually to tell our stories differently and in a way that shapes the community positively and in a way that the community grows. So we should be authentic, and our content also, we should localize it ensuring that we use our languages appropriately. Let what's it called? Um, our communication depict our culture, and also it's important that we do not just share. I remember when I was having a conversation the other time, feedback. So when you tell them things, when your use of the digital space should be um, a two-way, conversation. As you are telling us about your product, you should also be able to listen to, your user, so that you are not designing products for them, but you are doing it with them. That is when your business or your product can actually thrive. When they know that yes, you're creating a product that suits me. But of course, most times you just set out to create products and just digital to people, give them what we think they need. But rather, it's better that we do it with them. And how do we do it with them successfully? As much as the additional information with the various platforms, with the various tools we have, we should also create a platform where they are able to also give us, some data back that helps us to make informed decisions. I think I'd like to, stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mana Yetunde. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of day 2 of our African Digital Conference. I want to give a special shout out to the various speakers who were able to make it for today's conference. Others have already left because they have other duties to attend to. But I want to thank Mr. Aikings, Dr. Asfo, Mr. Gideon, Madam Gumsira Betin, and Madam Yetunde for really trying to, squeezing time out of their busy schedule to be part of this conference. I'm very sure that we all had a very good time today listening to the speakers with all the experiences they have been able to give us an insight as far as digital literacy is concerned, as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. So thank you all for joining us. Please, before you leave, make sure you fill the attendance. I'm going to share the link right now, and make sure you connect with all the speakers. Please make sure you connect with the speakers. They will be sharing their LinkedIn. I think some have already done so. So please, speakers, kindly share your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn handles in the chat. All right. So I've been your host for today. You can find me on all social media platforms. Just type Tamonzi Udine, and you will find me on all social media platforms. We will only be sharing the social media handles, especially LinkedIn, of the speakers of today in the various forums, so you can easily connect with them. So I'll be sharing the link right now. So thank you all for joining this conference, and see you all tomorrow for day 3 of the African Digital Conference. Bye-bye for now. Please don't leave without filling the attendance. Just give me 1 minute and I will